What's going on, guys? Quinn69 here. How you guys doing today? If you didn't guess it already based off that clip, this is going to be the updated guide for the One Punch Monk. This is effectively a build that just clears rifts, T10 rifts, and it clears them really, really fast. That's all it's good for. Don't try and do GRs with it. Don't try to do bounties with it. If you want to do bounties, use this build here that I just released. This is the God Monk build. It's the fastest build in the game for mobility and still doing really, really good damage. In terms of clearing rifts, I would say the One Punch Monk probably is going to average a slightly faster time than the God Monk. But in terms of all-round utility, it might be slightly less. I don't know. A lot of people are going to prefer this because a lot of people don't like the spastic raiment gameplay where you just constantly dash around the whole time. Okay, so let's get into it. Why is this build so strong now? So if you guys haven't seen the old version of this build, okay, I used to run with the set Legacy of Nightmares, okay? That was a Lon set. Okay, had about a 1600 multiplier, okay? With this new set, you have 3,000% increased damage with the new rate. Okay, so basically what Blizzard did was they were like, you know what, some Wicco set's really not getting used enough. Let's just improve it. And then they're just like, what would Jay Wilson do? And they decided to double it. They literally got the old Sun Wicco set and then they doubled it. And then this is what you end up with. I'm currently using basically no damage multipliers on my character. So don't be like, the only reason you're one punching stuff is because you're a high Paragon. That's bullshit. You can easily get this damage at Paragon level 0. I've tested it and you can. I will go over the different gear setups for people with lower gear. Actually, I'll do that right now. If you want to see more gameplay, I will post another rift clear at the end of the video, so you can check that out if you want. Otherwise, let's go over the gear and the skills. Alright guys, let's talk about the gear first, because depending on how well geared you are or how poorly geared you are, you might have to do something different, so listen up. Alright, so in terms of weapons, we're using Ingiom. Okay, this is mandatory. What happens is, whenever you kill an elite, or a, yellow pack, whatever, okay, your cooldown's reduced by 10 seconds for 15 seconds. So what that means is, you kill an elite pack, it means you can dash around for 15 seconds like a madman, okay? So this means you have to constantly kill elites. You need to kill an elite every 15 seconds, otherwise you're going to have really slow clear times. So just keep that in mind when you're looting your items. You got to be quick, man. You got to be quick. No downtime. So offhand is Kairisho's Blade. The way this works, it increases the wave of light damage by 150%. On top of that, when your wave of light hits 3 or fewer enemies, okay, the damage is increased by 250%. Both those are multipliers and they multiply with each other, which is crazy strong. So it means you just absolutely destroy rifts and you destroy rift guardians specifically, assuming that you hit less than 3 targets. Crazy OP. We're then using the Crutus Boots. The Crutus Boots gives you 2 Mystic Allies instead of 1 Mystic Ally. What this means is, instead of 4 Spirit Regen, you get 8. Instead of 100 Spirit back when you use it, you get 200 Spirit back. So it literally just doubles the passive and the active effect of Mystic Ally. Really, really strong. We are then using some Wicco sets, so some Wicco pants, gloves, shoulders, chest, and we're using the necklace. Okay, and on top of that, we have a Ring of Royal Grandeur in the cube that completes the 6 set. What does the 6 set do, you ask? Okay, LTK, Tempest Rush, Wave of Light, consume attack of Sweeping Wind, and they deal 3,000% increased damage. This is really the only thing we care about on the set, okay, because we want to do loads and loads of damage. Okay, this has been doubled as of patch 2.4.1, and it's crazy. 3,000%. All we have to do is, keep Sweeping Wind up. Okay, that's really easy because of our belts. The way our belt works is, Sweeping Wind gains 2 stacks every second. It does not deal any damage, okay? So what that means is, as long as you stay at range, you are never going to drop your Sweeping Wind, okay? You just apply it, you just put it up, okay? You can put up the Sweeping Wind, and then just stay away from enemies. Obviously, I'm in town. There's no enemies here. Okay, you can see here, every time I spend a stack, it just comes back straight away. Obviously, if you have crazy high APS, which you really shouldn't, you technically could spend the spirit faster than, the belt could recover it, and then bada bing, bada boom, you're going to drop your stacks. So just make sure you don't get too much attack speed, and make sure you be conscious to not have enemies sitting in Sweeping Wind the whole time, otherwise it'll drop. So that's how you maintain your Sweeping Wind. So that means you basically just make the 6 set, just give you 3,000% damage, and then you don't really have to think about anything other than either killing enemies that are near you, or staying away from enemies. Okay, on top of that, the 2 set does give you 50% damage reduction, which is quite nice. And then the 4 set does spawn a little explosion dude. For us, we're not really optimizing that effect, so the 4 set's pretty useless. It doesn't really do anything. You can make a build that does optimize around this, but that's not this build, okay guys? We'll talk about that another day. In terms of braces, we are using Pinto's Pride. So Pinto's Pride, Wave of Light slows enemies by 80% for 3 seconds and deals up to 150% increased damage. Okay, this is another multiplier. It's a mandatory bracer. You have to either have it on your character or in your cube, depending on how you want to run it. And yeah, they're just crazy powerful. The great thing about this is, okay, it slows them down by a crazy amount. What that does is it allows you to kite, anything that's scary. And on top of that, it procs your Bane of the Trapped. We're then using Turrican's Gaze. This is a crazy OP helmet because it makes your Wave of Light range. So you can see here, I'm using range Wave of Light. So when I take it off, Wave of Light then becomes a melee attack, which is not really ideal. This is a huge utility gain. And on top of that, it also has up to 150% additive damage increase, which is really strong. Okay, so now this is where it gets complicated, guys. So listen up here. So you can see here, I'm using Everest Band. Okay, so Everest Band, you might be like, what the hell? Why is he using Everest Band? That makes no sense at all. Each time you pick up gold, your golden health pickup radius is increased by 1 yard for 10 seconds, stacking up to 30 times. What that means is I get 30 yard pickup radius as long as I'm killing stuff fast enough. Okay, the reason I use this personally is purely to pick up the progress orbs inside rifts. Okay, so I have so much damage that I don't need any more damage multiplication, so I just use Everest Band purely so I can pick up progress orbs. You don't even need to have a boon in the hoarder to use this, because you will pick up gold just by killing stuff, and then you're going to keep this buff up easy. It has a pretty decent duration on it. So I mean, 10-second duration. You have to pick up gold once every 10 seconds. It doesn't take long to get up to 30 stacks each rift, and it just increases the rift clear for me by a lot. Okay, so I don't need the damage. Okay, obviously this is for someone who's got, I don't have any Caldesians on, but I am at Paragon 2000. I did try the same build with the same setup at Paragon 0, and it was still good, but you can definitely mix it up. You could use things like, you could swap this out. If you need a little bit more damage, you could swap that up with like Stone of Jordan, okay? Or you could use a convention of elements. They're both pretty similar, okay? Obviously, Soj, what that means is it's going to give you some elite damage. Obviously, you do want a fire damage Soj. I don't have a fire damage Doge on me, but yeah, you want a fire damage one for sure. Okay, or COE, they're both really strong for this. On top of that, okay, if you're really badly geared, okay, this is people who are really badly geared. We're talking Paragon level 50, okay? Paragon 50, and you've just got the worst gear in the world. Okay, what you can do is you can use Restraint and swap out your Zodiac, and you can use Restraint and Focus, okay? That's going to give you, and then you just swap out Blinding Flash for a Generator, okay? This is, we're talking like, you might only use this for the first, 2 seconds of the season, okay? You have to be extremely poorly geared to use this setup, okay, guys? But this is an option, and I've seen people run it, okay? I was running this last season for a bit, Focus Restraint, okay, but now the set's been doubled in damage. We're talking, this is just very early game. My favorite setup personally is Everest Band and Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac. Obviously, the way Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac works, every time you cast a Wave of Light, it's going to either reduce the cooldown of one of your dashes, so it means you get another dash charge back, almost 1 second cooldown off that, or you're going to reduce the cooldown off your Blinding Flash, okay, which means you're going to get slightly more damage output. It's like whatever. They're both really, these rings are, because I just use them because I one-shot stuff anyway, and I have no need for doing more damage. Alright, in terms of legendary gems, we are using Zay's Stone of Vengeance. Okay, this is my least favorite gem out of the lot here, purely because, it's got the whole yard radius and stuff, and it's not really that great. You can swap it out for Boon of the Hoarder if you want gold. Okay, gold can be used for, empowering rifts. Okay, I was using Boon a lot of the time, and then I swapped it out for Zay's just for the video, so I could show you guys big crits. Alright, on top of that, if you want a little bit more attack speed and cooldown reduction, so a little bit more, redundancy for like Inkiom downtime, this means you can dash more frequently, you can totally use Goku Swiftness. Outside of that, I'd say 2 gems that are locked in are Bane of the Powerful. Okay, the way this was changed in patch 2.4.1, they've actually changed it into a multiplier instead of additive damage. So it would normally just add on to this helmet's damage, and it would be really crappy. Okay, but now it's actually a pure multiplier, so you get 20% multiplicative damage. On top of that, you get 15% elite damage reduction, which is really, really nice. And you get 15% elite damage because you're using no elite damage with this build. Obviously, that's another 15% multiplicative damage output. So Bane of the Powerful OPOP. And then we're using Bane of the Trapped. Okay, your braces proc Bane of the Trapped, as well as the secondary procs the Bane of the Trapped. This just gives you 42% increased damage. Obviously, if you've got a lower level one, it's not going to give you quite as much. But yeah, I suggest leveling this gem up. It's really, really powerful. What is in the cube, you ask? We have Envious Blade. Okay, so you gain 100% crit at enemies at full health. Okay, this is what makes the One Punch Monk the One Punch Monk. It means you're going to crit all the time. Okay, so every time you go around to a new zone, you go and it hits everything for the first time. Everything gets crit, and this is what gives you that insane clear speed. Okay, if you are crappy geared, okay, this isn't going to work. You're going to use it, it's going to crit, and they'll still be at like 50% life, and then you're going to be like spamming Wave of Light, nothing's happening, it's really AIDS. Okay, for lower geared players, okay, people who, you know, at the start of the season, use the Furnace, alright guys? The Furnace is a better alternative, okay, when you're crappy geared. Once you get high enough gear that you can just one-shot everything, switch to the Envious Blade, okay guys? In terms of your armor, okay, this is another thing. So there's lots of modifications you can make. So when you're one-shotting everything, use Nemesis braces. If you're not one-shotting everything, switch to a Cinder Coat. What this does, it gives you 30% fire RCR, and it just means you can spam your Wave of Lights a lot more. It effectively gives you 30% more damage almost, okay? Which is really, really strong option. And you can still just swap the Nemesis braces manually whenever you get to a shrine or a pylon. That is a thing. If you want to, you can just use Syndicate right now and then just do it like that. In terms of rings, you have to use a Ring of Royal Grandeur, okay? You could, put where... Like, so what you could do is you could have, like, Avraspan in here, have a Ring of Royal on your character. It doesn't really matter. You can swap them around, mix, match them. Okay, it's easy as. And one more thing I probably should point out. Okay, otherwise people can say it in chat if I don't. Okay, Hexing Pants is still another option you can use. You have to stutter step to use this. So you can benefit from Hexing Pants just by doing this. You just run, drop a thing, run, drop a thing. But if you stand still and start dropping stuff, then you're going to get debuffed, okay? In terms of the actual runes and our skills, we are using Wave of Light, Explosive Light. Okay, this is what makes it so overpowered. Gives you that crazy AoE, lots and lots of damage, and it's also a fire ability, so you can scale it with Syndicate and things like that. We're using Mystic Ally, Air Ally. This is a very strong, portion of your Spirit regen, so it gives you a passive 4 regen that's doubled by Crudest, and then you can also click it, which gives you 100 Spirit, which is doubled by Crudest Boots. Really, really strong. We're then using Mantra of Conviction, Annihilation. So whenever you kill an enemy, you get 30% movement speed for 3 seconds. That also works on your party members, which is huge. So they can kill stuff and they can get the movement speed bonus and they can give it to you, etc. Really, really strong. On top of that, it gives you 20% increased additive damage. Really, really nice. That's when you're using it, obviously. We're then using Sweeping Wind and in a Storm. Okay, you get 8 Spirit Regen per second whilst that's up. On top of that, Sweeping Wind is a mandatory requirement for the 2 set and the 6 set of the Sun Wukong set, so it's really strong. We're then using Dashing Strike, the Way of the Falling Star. That is purely for the movement speed. You alternatively can go Radiance. This is a viable choice. If you have really, really high Ingium uptime, this is technically better than Way of the Falling Star. This is just to give you a little bit more redundancy in the build, so you can actually catch up with people when Ingium is down. This would be better if you have Ingium up all the time. So if you're in a 4-man group that's really GG, and they're just kind of killing everything, just absolutely stomping on everything, then Radiance is faster, because it reduces the animation time on dash, and all that good stuff. On top of that, you can kill things faster, so it's nice. A bit of attack speed is never going to hurt you. When they're using Blinding Flash, Faith in the Light, okay, this is going to give you 29% additive damage. If you're having troubles with Spirit, you can swap this out to, where are we? Replenishing Light. This gives you 10 Spirit per enemy you blind, which is really nice for getting your Spirit back. On top of that, okay, this is a kind of sketchy thing, alright guys? So a lot of you guys are going to be asking, why the hell isn't he using Epiphany? Okay, so this is a bit of a annoying subject to broach. It triggers me a lot. I'm getting enraged right now. Calm me down, boys. Okay, so Epiphany is currently bugged with Wave of Light. Okay, I've contacted the Blizzard guys. They said it's on their bug fix list. And in the past, they've tried to fix it. It just has never worked. Okay, so what happens when you use Epiphany? Alright, so you can put either Insight or Desert Shroud on, doesn't matter. when you put this on and you use this, your wave of light, okay, the initial hit area is just not going to do any damage. So this whole area you hit, it's a full-on bug in the game. Blizzard have fucking fixed it. And, you know, this build would just be so much better if you could use Epiphany in terms of damage output, mobility, and, you know, spirit region. It would just be insane if they would just fix this. Please, Blizzard, can you fix this one day? I've already talked to the community managers just like a couple days because I was going to be making this guide. And, yeah, they've confirmed, again, there's nothing happening to this bug. It's going to stay in for 2.4.1. So, until they fix this, you're going to have to just bear without Epiphany, or you're going to have to work around it. So, early game, you know, say you really need Spirit Region really bad, so you have super crap gear, and your Wave of Lights are just really weak, you can use Epiphany, and then you just have to constantly aim off screen. So, like, if you're trying to kill Tyrone here, okay, you're going to aim the Wave of Light like this. If I was to do this, it would just never do any damage. He would just stay alive for forever, okay? Shoot over to here, it's going to do damage. And you just have to kind of deliberately aim away from what you're trying to kill. Okay, it's kind of awkward, but I've seen people do it, and it works. It does work. It's just, you know, for me, I ain't got time for that. All right, guys? I like to use Blinding Flash. I'm sorry we had to just go over that. It really does trigger me. I will annotate this video if they do end up hotfixing this, because maybe they, I don't know, everyone's raging that there's still a bug in the game and it's been in the game since season 1. Maybe they'll fix it. You never know, guys. The passives we are using as Harmony, that's just pure the all resist, so we get loads of damage reduction. Exalted Soul for the extra 4 spirit region, and on top of that you get 50 max spirit, which doesn't hurt. We got Beacon Yitar for the cooldown reduction, just means we can move around a lot better. On top of that we got Seize the Initiative. This is probably the least mandatory talent, so if you're playing hardcore you could swap this out for Netta's experience, or say you're really badly geared, you could use Chant of Resonance for, you know, an extra 4 spirit regions. That means you can be more efficient with your spirit, rather than just going for attack speed for like maximum aggression. For our Paragons, you're going to be capping out movement speed first, so because I have 12 on my boots, that means technically I should have 13 in my Paragons here, so I kind of screwed up here. So you want to go like this, because there's a maximum of 25 movement speed between your boots and your Paragons, so that's just giving you guys a little lesson. You then can go increase maximum spirit if you just want increased redundancy. This is only for high Paragon guys. I probably suggest just going max dexterity at early game for the extra bit of damage juice. Okay, it's going to take me forever, so I'm not going to do it. Alright, on top of that, you're going to be using cooldown reduction first, then you're going to go crit hit chance, then crit hit damage, then attack speed. For defense, you want resist, armor, then life regen. In terms of utility, you want to go resource cost reduction, then area damage, life on it, and then finally goal find. That is it, guys. That is the guide. Done, diddly done. If you guys enjoyed it, definitely, you know, give it a like or whatever. Flippin' love you guys, or subscribe if you want to. That's cool, guys. Otherwise, if you have any questions, you can post in the comments below. I try and check them as much as I can. But let's be honest here, the best way to get an answer from me is by going to my Twitch stream. That's twitch.tv/Quinn69. Otherwise, that's going to be it from me. If you want to, you can stick around and watch the rest of the Rift clear that I was showing you guys before. But until next time, guys, peace the hell out and have a good day. I flippin' love you guys.